Mermaids aren't even close to being the ocean's strangest myth. Ancient sailors had far more terrifying beliefs. Imagine looking at massive whirlpools swirling menacingly and believing they weren't natural phenomena, but instead the mouths of colossal sea monsters, waiting eagerly to devour entire ships. Our ancestors didn't see the ocean merely as water. They saw it as alive, mysterious, and often malevolent. I've spent years diving deep into maritime legends, and I've uncovered 10 astonishing myths that will completely transform the way you perceive the sea. The Norse spoke of Jörmungandr, an immense serpent so gigantic it wrapped around the entire globe, gripping its own tail firmly in its jaws. Legend stated that the day it finally released its tail, the world would plunge into Ragnarok, the apocalyptic battle marking the end of everything. Greek sailors lived in dread of Charybdis, a terrifying monster that created whirlpools by gulping down the ocean, then violently spitting it back out 3 times daily. Navigating these waters forced sailors to choose between Charybdis and its equally horrifying counterpart, Scylla, a monstrous being with multiple heads, each hungry for human flesh. Essentially, sailors had to decide whether to risk total annihilation or sacrifice a few unfortunate crew members. In Japanese folklore, mariners whispered stories of the enigmatic Umibōzu, a shadowy giant monk rising silently from serene waters at night. It would ominously demand a barrel from passing ships. Offering an empty barrel meant certain doom, as the creature would angrily fill your vessel, with seawater dragging you under. However, presenting a barrel filled with something, no matter how humble, ensured safe passage. The legendary Kraken wasn't just an oversized squid in Nordic myths, it was a behemoth of mythical proportions, often mistaken for an island. Unsuspecting sailors would anchor and disembark onto what they thought was solid land, only to discover their horrifying mistake as the island stirred, pulling their ship beneath the waves in a monstrous embrace. Celtic folklore whispered alluring tales of Morgans, captivating sea spirits who beckoned sailors with enchanting melodies toward dazzling underwater cities, promising eternal life and pleasure. Those seduced were trapped forever, their earthly lives forgotten, condemned to an eternal paradise beneath the waves from which they could never escape. Among Filipino fishermen, the Bacanawa remains a vibrant legend, a colossal sea serpent believed to be responsible for lunar eclipses by trying to swallow the moon itself. To thwart its hunger, villagers would frantically beat drums and create a cacophony, hoping to distract and prevent the serpent from completing its cosmic meal. The Maori of New Zealand respected and feared taniwa, mighty shape-shifting water spirits whose intentions could swing dramatically from guardianship to wrathful destruction. Those who honoured the ocean found favour, protection, and prosperity, while disrespectful actions invited taniwa's fierce punishment. Ancient Persian mariners sailed in perpetual anxiety of the elusive Mick, fiery, invisible spirits that could ignite ships into blazing infernos simply because sailors spoke too loudly or acted disrespectfully at sea. Such legends taught disciplined silence and reverence during voyages. But perhaps the most inspiring ocean myth comes from ancient China. The legend of Yu the Great recounts how a wise ruler controlled a cataclysmic world flood, not by brute force, but by guiding waters patiently and respectfully into rivers, lakes, and eventually the vast oceans we know today. Yu's wisdom and patience are celebrated as the birth of civilization itself. These fascinating tales weren't merely entertainment. They instilled a profound respect and reverence for the immense power and mystery of the sea. Next time you stand beside the ocean, pause and remember. It's a realm our ancestors saw as deeply alive, unpredictable, and eternally deserving of awe.